There are people alive right now whose entire lives changed simply because they refused to stop posting. And the weird part is that most of them had no idea what they were doing in the beginning, but something happened to them along the way, something almost magical that once you experience it yourself, you'll never look at consistency and discipline the same way again. This is something that I honestly don't fully know how to explain. There's something that happens when you show up every single day, not once a month, not once a week, not when you feel motivated, not when inspiration randomly hits you, but every day. And I know how vague that sounds. I know it sounds like one of those motivational things that people say because it sounds good. But the more I think about it, and the more I watch and study people who've actually done it, the more convinced I become that this is true. Because there's a certain transformation that starts happening when you repeatedly put yourself out there. Even if your content is bad in the beginning, and it will be, even if the videos barely get any views, even if you feel awkward, even if you feel like you're talking to absolutely nobody, something is still happening in the background. Even when you can't see it yet, something's happening. The main idea is this: you simply cannot post content every day for 365 days straight and have absolutely nothing happen. It's impossible. I'll say it again. It is impossible. Something must give. Something changes. Always. Maybe your speaking skills improve. Maybe your editing becomes more professional. Maybe your confidence improves. Maybe you stop caring what people say in the comment section. Maybe you finally become disciplined for the first time in your life. Maybe for once you actually prove to yourself that you could commit to something long term. But something gives, something shifts internally. Not the views, not the subscribers or the watch time, but the person you slowly become in the process. Because after doing something over and over again, you physically and mentally cannot stay the same person. And the strange part is that at first it feels like nothing's happening, right? That's what tricks most people into quitting. I know because I did it twice. I quit twice. But days go by, weeks go by, maybe even months go by, and it feels pointless. You upload something and barely anyone watches your videos. You put effort into a video and nothing happens. No viral moment, no explosions, no subs, just silence. And because of that silence, most people stop. But what they don't realize is that something is building underneath the surface. Invisible progress. Your brain's adapting. Your communication is getting better. Your confidence is growing. Your identity is adapting. And one day, something clicks. Not all at once, but enough for you to realize, hey, I'm actually becoming good at this. And here's the interesting part is that every big creator understands this feeling that I'm trying to explain in this video. Every single one of them. Anyone who has posted hundreds or thousands of videos will immediately understand what I'm talking about because they lived it. But the odd thing is that most of them probably wouldn't know how to explain it either because this transformation is hard to measure. It's not one single moment. It's an accumulation. It's tiny improvements stacking on top of each other for months, for years, until eventually you become unrecognizable compared, let's say, to the person you were when you started. And the craziest part is that most creators don't even notice it happening while it's happening. They only realize it when they look back and connect the dots. And this goes way beyond YouTube. You don't just grow a YouTube channel, you evolve as a human being. You become more confident, more disciplined, more consistent, more resilient, more comfortable being yourself. You start thinking differently, you start speaking differently, you start carrying yourself out differently. Even in the real world, outside in the real world, you become more willing to take risks. You stop being as afraid of judgment online and in the real world. You stop needing permission from other people to create what you want to create online. You stop losing that imposter syndrome that makes us feel like we're not good enough. And eventually, you develop something that most people never build. That's called self-belief. Because when you consistently show up, you slowly start trusting yourself more and more every single day, and that changes everything. And one day, you'll look back and finally understand exactly what happened. You'll see the progression, you'll see the growth. You look at all those old awkward videos and you'll see the moment where things slowly started clicking together. And suddenly, everything makes sense. But if somebody brand new would ask you, how does it work? You probably wouldn't fully know what to tell them because it's not one thing. It's Everything combined. It's the repetition, the failure, the awkwardness, the consistency, the persistence, those tiny improvements that are all stacking together. And honestly, all you'll really be able to say is just start and trust the process. Now, I know that sounds pretty generic, but it's the truth. So many people have already done this before you. People with no experience, no audience, no confidence, no talent, no idea what they were doing. Some of them weren't even fluent in the language that they were posting in, and yet they still changed their lives completely. Not because they were special, not because they were smarter, but because they kept showing up long enough for the transformation to actually happen. And this is the part that people don't understand. Consistency is not just about growing on YouTube, it's about becoming someone else, someone stronger, someone more capable, a better version of yourself, someone who actually follows through. Because every single time you post, you're casting another vote for the person you're about to become. And eventually, those votes start changing your identity, who you are as a person. That's why the people who stay consistent long enough always win at the end. Not because they're magically talented, but because repetition transforms them into people that can no longer be ignored. So, if you're thinking about starting something, this is your sign. This is your moment. Don't wait. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't try to fully understand the magic. You're not supposed to understand it yet. You'll understand it afterward. That's the whole point. Because 1 year from now, you could either be the exact same person, living the exact same life, wondering what would have happened if you would have started, or you could become someone completely different, more confident, more disciplined, more skilled, more free. All because you decided to keep showing up when most people would have quit. And maybe one day someone will look at your success story and think, wow, they really got lucky, without realizing that they're actually looking at the results of hundreds of days where you showed up when nobody cared. That's the magic. And you'll only understand it once you lived through it yourself.